Hey, guys, we are live for the Tuesday Redroom. Sorry, we're a little late. I actually just landed in Sky Harbor at 1:37, so it's now
All
a little
right.
six. So considering that, I think I'm doing pretty good. But today we're going to jump in and talk about mobile homes as an investing strategy. I've done a couple. Sounds like Danny's out there doing them, and we're going to welcome our guest Danny for jumping on with us.
Heck yeah.
Little update. I mean, I think we've been sticking around that like 11,100 actives. I think that's like been the number for like 6 to 8 weeks. Like it's just right there 600, 100, 11,100, 11,200. It's not dipping below 10 or 11,000. It's not going to even like 11,000. I haven't even seen like 11,700 actives. So,
Right.
we're just plugging along here in good old Phoenix. Did put out something on the RIA. It said they expect a very flat market for Phoenix, or actually nationwide, and that's mainly because inventory is low and interest rates are up, so there's not a whole lot of demand, but there's
Yep.
a low supply. So you got low demand, low supply. So if you had high supply with low demand, you'd see some, you know, a
Oh
downtick in
yeah.
the market, and if you obviously had high demand and low supply, you see prices increase. But as usual, if you've been watching us here in the good old Red Room for any time now, we just said chill out in the fall. Like it's going to be slow. We're here to hang out and just have the slow market. So cool.
Absolutely. Just prepare for it. That's all you got to do.
All right. So what are you guys doing in mobile homes? Let's talk about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Danny, thanks for joining us, man.
appreciate you guys for having me. Yeah, so we are narrowing down kind of our search and specializing a lot in the mobile homes. Lately, Luke had me on his podcast the other day, so I did a whole spiel on everything and pretty much the value that we're seeing in purchasing them. Um, Really, I have my notes here from last week, but to give this audience the same kind of rundown on why we love the mobile homes and we think it's a great strategy. First and foremost, you have affordability, which is the biggest thing. And in a time like now where the market slowed down and kind of
Yeah.
crunched, your certain price points that get hit harder are your higher price points. So where the mobile homes are landing, everything is relatively under that 300K kind of price point. So when that market ticked and that market shifted, the things that we had on our books didn't really get too affected, as opposed to some of the other people that
Right.
took a couple heavy ones on the chin. So our correction on those, or it wasn't really too much of a difference. And the reality is that from a 4% to a 7% is a jump in the rate, but in that affordability price point, the consumers still want to purchase there.
Yep.
So you have those, FHA 3% down on a 300K house. We're talking less than $10,000, plus you do some seller concessions for your people when you list it. They can still enter into the deal at such a low cost to purchase the home. So um, that one's
Absolutely.
huge for mobile homes.
Yep.
Um, Another big one for us is that the iBuyers, there's no iBuyers in the mobile home space. So a lot of these people, they want their track homes, they want their stucco, tile, roofs, those cookie cutters. They don't want to deal with all the fixtures, the tie downs, all the extra nuances that go into these mobile homes. So you have so many lists and data and people and getting specifically targeted with a house, and we're over here targeting mobile homes where 70% of the competition isn't even targeting these things, and we're absolutely murdering it on some of these deals. So people don't know how to, and I get that brings me to my next point. A lot of other wholesalers, investors, they don't know how to specifically value these things. So any deal that has the value that's up for interpretation, you can get an opportunity on getting yourself a good deal. But I know what Luke and I were saying. You could also get smoked pretty hard if you don't know what you're doing. So we kind of figured out a model and a formula to essentially mitigate that risk and at the same time, get a high profit on some of these deals.
One thing I love about what you said there is about, not having competition with the iBuyers. I mean, Chris, could you imagine if you didn't, if we never ran across, some of these other big buyers where you had to compete with them? I mean, I think even I made a call yesterday for someone that we were trying to get just an ovation deal on. And I mean, exactly that, he was like, oh yeah, well, I had Open Door out here and, they have all these, OfferPad, and they have all these iBuyers out there. And it's like, when they give their prices, it's so hard to compete with them. So that's a really good point of not having to worry about anything when you're going after those.
And it's just, that's, competing pricing and understanding the pricing and then all the stuff they put into that contract, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of people get in that mindset is like, I'm getting 300. I'm really only netting 250, but I'm getting 300.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
So it's it's hard to come in even if you're at 250 and they're like, well, it's Open Door, it's OfferPad, these are the big guys, and
Yep.
Oh yeah.
But their memory is so short about how when the market shifted a year ago, they canceled all their contracts, right? They just they just did
I know. Literally.
They memory is very short in some of this stuff. So it's and then it's hard to compete though. Like when OfferPad saying 300 and you need to you need their net sheet to actually figure out what they're paying. But
and I think another thing that we didn't actually talk about last time we spoke, Danny, was just how nice it is when you're doing if you're flipping these properties. Because if you're flipping these properties and you have to worry about your hard money costs, going through the window, that's the thing is that, you might have one project that, let's say it's a $600,000-$700,000 project, and your hard money on it is, again, $6,000-$7,000 a month on it. You could run 4 mobile homes to have that exact same hard money cost on a monthly basis. But you've got 3-4 chances of, hitting, a better profit margin on them. So it's like, that's something that Jake and I noticed too, is that, again, we got crushed last year when the market tanked. I know I already told you that.
Is that like taking it on a chin, like Danny said?
I was getting hit upside the head with like a lead pipe.
Yeah, we got smoked, exactly. And so then it's like, then you think about like exactly what you're saying is you buy some of these mobile homes and it's like, you're not going to get smoked. It's just, you can lose money. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you're not going to lose money on it, but like the chances of just getting like annihilated on a deal is very slim. It's very slim because, in general, the property is only going to be worth so much. It's right. And you, typically, if you're still buying them good, it's not going to be too bad. So we just noticed that when we're able to spread our I guess our funds through multiple deals, and whether that is, like I said, mobile homes or just the lower dollar ones, it's easier to make a profit versus just putting all your eggs in one basket and you can get crushed on that.
Yeah.
So let's talk about just obviously some of the numbers that people should know about, right? So you can't sell you're going to do a fix and flip on a mobile home. You need to be 1976 and newer, right?
Yep. So we do 1980 and newer because the 76 to 80, that 4-year gap, there's still kind of some nuances in there. So we just stick to, 1980 and newer. Non 55 plus, preferably no HOA.
Yeah, nothing in parks. We don't like to buy parks.
Correct. Yeah.
Right.
So let's just talk. Yeah, let's talk about the sticking points of mobile homes, and make sure everybody understands it. If the mobile home is in a park and there's a park fee of $500 or $400, first of all, you don't want that deal, because it's gonna make it harder for your seller to qualify, all that stuff. Yes, you can buy them super cheap, but there's a reason why you can buy them super cheap, right? So we don't want deals in parks. All right. Danny said, my understanding was, I've done some of these, I'm not focusing just specifically on that. So, Danny's like 1980 and newer.
Yeah.
stick to. Now, Danny, is there a number like, hey, if it's, it's 60 cents on the dollar, 1980 and newer, and it's 50 cents on the dollar, 1980 and older. You got any kind of ballpark on that, or
like in terms of the acquisition price?
Yeah,
A big thing
there's
is
rehab and all that other stuff.
yes. So ideally, I don't think I've ever bought a mobile home over 200 grand.
Okay.
So because
Right.
we're selling, and we're talking single wide, double wide on infill lots. There is acre lots on AJ, but those are outliers. Those are not really the bread and butter. Like for me, these are like mobile track homes is pretty much what we're buying. We're selling at 275 to 3. They all need 50, 60 grand worth of work. You buy them under 200 somewhere. If you buy them in a certain ballpark or range, you can't get, you can't really get hurt. It's that hard to get hurt. I'm lending my own private money on some of these mobiles too, because I believe in it so much. I can underwrite them with my eyes closed. So I'm lending out my personal money on some of these deals to other people because I know that I'm well insulated enough to not get hurt on these deals.
Right.
And those numbers were 300K ARV on a double wide. My investor purchased at 190. I lent 180. Needs about 30, 40K worth of work. So I'm almost 60 cents on the dollar is what I'm lending out. So that's kind of the ranges. And like I said, in terms of the underwriting, it's 1980 or newer, single wide or double wide. There needs to be an affidavit of a fixture, which the affidavit of a fixture is surrendering your car title and combining it with the land. So that document is essentially now creating, you're taking the car and the land and you're putting it into one. So both of them transfer through your deed, not as opposed to you have your land and you have your mobile, one's personal property and one's the land. You are conjoining that. And then from your lender's perspective, you're making their asset more safe as well.
Right.
God forbid somebody tows away a mobile home or some crazy shit like that.
I've moved a couple, so it happened.
Yeah. Right.
I'm sure.
Those people that say, "Hey, I want to sell my mobile home because I'm going to upgrade, but I'll sell it for 10 grand if you move it."
Done.
I'll go buy a vacant piece of dirt and I'll go stick it on there and
plop it down,
and I'll sell or carry it.
Yep.
There we go.
And also, just do you buy any of those 1980 and newer or older homes?
The you're saying pre 1980? No, I will sell it to other investors, but I won't make a firm commitment to.
I'm raising these virtual backgrounds. This is me raising my hand.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's just it's a bit of a crapshoot. That's just what we've done that before, and I've never really lost money. I've lost $1,000 on one deal ever in my entire career. So we bought a pre-76 55 plus, and this is the first deal that we'll ever. Well, knock on wood, I still haven't lost $1 yet, but we'll lose a couple grand on it. But that's outside of our model. We've made this model, we've made this underwriting guidelines, and the one time we commit to a deal, take it down, and it's outside of those specs. Now we're, taking one on the chin. So,
Chris, you've never lost on a deal, right?
Never.
Same here.
Yeah. But for all those people watching, if you want to, you have a 1976 and older mobile home, I'll look at it because I generally sell them, and then I'll sell them with financing in place, and
right. You guys,
by the time I buy it, do a little fixing, and then I sell it for retail, and then I end up kind of basically doing private money on it, and my return is better than my 12% hard money. So
we're doing that. We're doing the same thing right now in Chino Valley.
Yeah,
we've got a mobile that we exactly that renovated it. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it. So
you're offering financing for it?
We're going to. Yep.
Nice.
Do it like
Yep.
9%, 10%.
Yeah, we're gonna go for that 9% sweet spot, and yeah.
Yeah, but
Right.
if you're only in it 50 cents on the dollar, it's really like
Yeah.
18%.
Right. Exactly.
And that takes you back to another point, is that you have more, when you're in that cheaper price point, your exit strategies are just going to open because you're not as tied into the deal with so much capital intensity and labor, and the costs are not so much to inherit. So you're more mobile, mobile homes,
Oh yeah.
on what you can do with it.
Like his little spin on words right there.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love it.
His real estate is mobile, not pivot. I mean, he's not. I don't pivot. I'm mobile.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly.
It's a good thing to have.
Yeah. And then really my last kind of bullet point on it was just more distressful situations too. So in these lower income areas where you have the cheaper price point homes, it is more susceptible to some crime rates, some drug activity, financial distress, family distress. So your odds of that seller having more of those distressful situations drastically increases. So us as wholesalers, we want to solve problems and get into situations where something needs to be solved. And this type of clientele, more of those issues will be uncovered.
No doubt about that.
Yeah.
So he likes him because not as many people are marketing to him, including Open Door and OfferPad.
Yeah.
The price point's lower. There's more distress in the sellers. Like, typically even though people have problems, the engineer and the doctor generally have easier ways to get themselves out of problems.
You're trying to say you don't think most engineers or doctors are living in mobiles?
I'm trying to stereotype, but lower incomes have less resources to solve the problems, and so I would love. I mean, you can't compare it to housing conversions, but what's your basic marketing strategy? Obviously, there's not a whole lot of mobile homes that are just outside of parks. Like you can't market to the parks. And is there a trick to pulling your data that says it's not in a park?
Yes. So you actually, and if this is a great thing for the audience listening to write down, most of your park models or any type of land lease, it's going to have a certain lot square footage. So usually the marker that we use is about 3,500. So we'll do a minimum lot square feet of 3,500. So meaning
there's the little nugget that we've been looking for.
Right.
Yep. So
because if you go pull a list of mobile homes, you wouldn't have thought about this, but Danny would have thought about this, is those parks, you don't want to call those people in those parks or market to those people, or even send the letters, order the numbers, whatever you want to do. You don't want to do that. So 3,500 minimum, and you'll stay away from all the park mobile homes.
Yep. So that'll take out your little ones where they can join it. We want owned mobiles, single wide, double wides on regular 6,000 square foot infill lots. Once you guys get to a certain standpoint, you can underwrite these with your eyes closed. I don't need, I have notes. I was telling Luke in the meeting last weekend, I have notes in my phone where someone texts me a deal, or one of our salespeople get it, and I can send them through the notes a little bullet point checklist. And if it checks all those boxes, I can make a decision right there within less than 5 minutes. That's what value.
That's what Chris is able to do in all of Phoenix with all houses.
Yeah.
He just goes, wait, what's the zip code? What street is it on? How many square feet? Okay, yeah, I'll buy it at 375.
Yeah.
You're like, what? Are you kidding me? How did you just do that?
Well, you've also been here for a long time.
I'm old. I get it.
I didn't mean it like that, but you've grown up out here and you've seen a lot. I still have to use my maps, and I don't understand the difference between Biltmore and North Phoenix and the Coronado district. And next thing you know, I'm in the ghetto, and I don't know what the hell is going on. That's how I
benefits
describe
being-
Central Phoenix.
The benefits of being an AZ native.
That's how I describe Central Phoenix. All of it.
Yeah.
What's the difference between uptown, midtown, downtown?
Yeah. Right. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know the difference between uptown and midtown.
Yeah, so like your downtown is obviously downtown
Yeah,
with all the
right.
high rises, and you get your uptown is like your Indian School and Bethany and all those. Are those
Okay.
are your midtown, right? And then
Okay.
your uptowns are a little bit north. Your Camelbacks, your Bethany homes. You know?
Okay. All right. Hey, look at that. Now we know.
Yeah. And then we're doing, like I said, pulling those lists with that certain amount of lot square footage. So we're doing, and then we are marketing to those via calling, texting. We're actually in the process of building out our whole Podio system. So we are building out an entire funnel with a developer, and he is building out our back end. So when we get leads that come in, we get automated text sent to those leads.
That's
And
awesome.
certain statuses will depict what happens to that lead. So, like Fortune 500 companies, if you fill out an online form to a Fortune 500 company, you'll come in to their system and get blown up via text, email, call for a week straight. And then you in that system will probably drop down to, hey, we're going to text them every week now. And then you're going to drop down and we're going to text them every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So we're building out that exact funnel to where these leads are going to come into our system, and they will be on an automated follow-up depending on certain fields and notes taken. And they're going to be automated texted, automated emails, and then we're going to export those lists and mail to those certain leads as well, because so many people get leads and then their number gets disconnected or they can't follow up with them properly. But the notes and the last conversation you had was, this is the hottest lead I've ever spoken to, but I can't break contact through them again.
Right.
So that's what we're in the process of building out as well. So to maximize and squeeze all the juice of the leads that do come into our system, which is not
That's super
fun
cool.
too.
And if
Meeting
you
with
don't
the-
want to have to build out an entire system to do that, just go to REI Black Book. I can send you a link. I get $30 a month if you do it. But they have a 15-step follow-up system built in. Ringless voicemail, text messages, email, cycles through all the way through for 15 days. And then if it doesn't, it moves them to a either an every 3-week or 4-week drip campaign after that.
Yep.
It's $197 a month.
There we go.
It's affordable.
But I mean,
I love it.
a lot of people that are just doing this as a side hustle don't have the. I mean, I don't know. What are you spending on your Podio build out? I mean, what does it cost these days?
It's really not too much. I mean, Podio, you're at 25 a user, and then you find a good freelancer developer overseas somewhere. A lot of them are in India, and they'll charge you on a per task or per hour basis, anywhere, cheap from 50 to 100 an hour. Things take a good amount of hours. I'm usually getting invoices from anywhere from 500 to 1,000 for tasks, and then building out that way. But if I was starting out like how I did, I'd get myself a Podio for $25 a month. I'd customize it around a little bit. You don't need all the sexy bells and whistles. Or if money's that tight, go and use Google Sheets via Microsoft Excel. And literally, I used to put the name, address, phone number, and then I'd create a section called notes. And then I would, follow up with my leads.
Right.
I'd plug in notes, and I'd go one by one through my leads. And that was a $0 marketing system, but I was able to keep track of my leads. And then
For sure.
I would have sheets. I would have sheets on the bottom of, hey, here's a year's worth of calendar things. I'd log my calls down, and then I would move my data into another sheet of like my little CRM. So I had a calling tracking system. I had a lead follow-up system. So there's ways to do everything via Microsoft Excel, which is the foundation of it all.
Danny's pretty techie.
I know, right? Seriously.
I would not say that at all. I'm more I can like see how it happens, but
Yes,
I'm not the one doing it.
here's my lead follow up right here.
There you go.
Oh, there it is, right there.
Well, so yeah, the some if you didn't hear this, if you want to market to the homes that people don't really want, you want the bottom basement prices. You market 3,500 older than 1980,
Yeah.
and then you're getting deals that even Danny's not mailing to.
I would not doubt it. Well,
So,
we sent our list to a couple guys, and they marketed to our list that we provided to them. And these are, kind of partners, other Bird Dog JV partners, not people that work for us directly, but we sent them our mobile home lists, and they called people that were in our system, but we didn't, for some reason, hit them on the head at that certain point in time. And those deals came to fruition as well. So, and those were, two of them were pre-76. So excuse me if I'm uh, downplaying some of the pre-76, but to circle back to what I was saying, I will still go and sell and wholesale those deals off to other buyers that are purchasing it. A large Hispanic community love those pre-76.
For sure. That's their biggest buyer right there.
Right. So there is still a market for those pre-76. I would not recommend putting those on your books to purchase and flip, as you could. Your risk is a heck of a lot higher due to the financing issues. But
Danny, do you know of anyone that does finance on pre-76? We know of one company.
21st Century Mortgage.
Yeah, that's one that we know of. So.
Yep. So, but it was, I believe it was like the electrical issues in the mobile homes caught fire, and there was like a big recall and everything.
Makes sense.
So
Chris and I are flipping a mobile home in Flagstaff together right now. We're about to start on it.
Really? Tell us about that.
Old Teshepi.
Yep, good old Teshepi.
Yeah.
Paid 200 for it. It's worth like 280.
It's a double wide.
No, I think Chris. I think it's worth like 380.
Yeah, it's probably more like 280 as is. Yeah, if you clean it up and make it look pretty, then yeah.
And this is a double wide post 76. I'm assuming it kind of checks all the boxes.
1,440 square feet. 1982 build, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
so I mean, you guys know that, hey, this is checking some of my boxes, and you have like I said, you don't have to be this built out crazy system of this. It's, hey, I have a couple things that I follow. As soon as that comes across my desk, I know I have a lead that's worth spending my time on. So nothing has to be overcomplicated, especially when you're starting out. It's all simple things to follow. But yeah, I mean, you guys are probably going to crush it. If the world burned down tomorrow, you probably could fire sale the property and get your money back out of it.
I'm moving in.
You're taking kids up there.
I'm trying to beat this heat. All right.
Flagstaff's not the cheapest in town, so
it's not. Flagstaff is expensive.
Entry level at 380 is probably going to fly off the shelf.
Oh yeah, Flagstaff is a very expensive town. We just listed a 1,400 square foot house. 1,400 square foot. We made it nice. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a nice house. 2-car garage, 1,400 square feet. What do you think it went pending for? 690. 690. Yeah, you were right there. 690 went pending in 2 days.
Holy shit.
Yeah. We bought it for 350.
See, my ideal, I've told my girlfriend this, and she doesn't, I don't know. I'm still trying to sell her on it, but I'm trying to get like a double wide up north, like pitch in with a couple boys or something. And same thing. Like I have the whole thing mapped out already. We purchased it for 150. We split it 2 or 3 ways. It's worth 300. We put in some work, and our mortgage payment's about $1,500 to $1,800 on it.
Yeah.
And we have a sweet double wide mobile home to go up to and cool down in the summers. And bring guns
Or
and do
or
some
you
fun
just
stuff.
find any type of a house and you Airbnb it and it pays your mortgage and you don't have to worry about anything.
But if Airbnb isn't going the way you want it to, and now you're
Yeah.
forking out $4,000 a month on some BS or
Yeah.
that, you know how that game goes.
You just gotta make sure you make it nice.
Yeah. I'm a guy that likes to keep the load on my back light.
I hear you
I try
for
to keep
sure.
things as light as possible. So, and when I have big things on my back, I feel like I'm getting carried down a little bit. Where
Yeah, yeah.
I operate better when I'm nimble, I'm mobile, I'm able to move around quicker. I
Yeah, yeah.
feel like I can move faster
For
than
sure,
most
for
people.
sure. Hey, I hear you.
Cool. Well, thanks for jumping on with us today. If anybody's on watching, how should they contact you? What's the best way?
Instagram's probably the best way to contact me, Danny McBrin. Appreciate you guys for having me on here. And
Heck yeah.
if anyone's out there wants to send me a message, or I can message you back with our specific underwriting for our mobile homes and some other information as well for any of the audience members
Love
wanting
it.
it. So
Absolutely. Definitely reach out to Danny, guys, if you guys have anything.
Thanks for joining us. We like to keep this right around 30 minutes, simple. Make sure we give
Sounds
people
good.
the good nuggets and then move on. We'll be back next week, guys. Thanks for joining us, and we'll mobile homes, less competition.
Absolutely.
People stay above 1980, and it sounds and you're in obviously the affordable price point, and you should have a lot less risk.
Yep. Cool. All right. Hey, appreciate
Love
it,
it.
guys. Thank
See ya.
you.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming on.
Bye.
We'll see it.